So I got this email from ME Action by somebody called Holly Latham, and it was on about cognitive dysfunction in ME. So it took me to a link here, which is the facets of ME cognitive dysfunction. And it's quite a decent article, this one. I don't often really follow a lot with ME organisations or anything like that, but this one was quite well written, I think. It's about brain fog, and for me personally, this is probably the hardest thing to deal with ME. So when I got COVID and then subsequently pneumonia, and before I went into hospital with that, and for years I'd been not well at all, very ill still, but my brain still worked a bit. It was when I first came down with ME initially, it was the worst. I couldn't think, I couldn't do anything. But this here is about COVID, long COVID as they say, which is really just ME. And if we go into this bit here, it says about people with long COVID, 88% of the total respondents out of 3,310 experienced cognitive dysfunction, memory loss, or both. It's similar across the age groups. And it goes on and on about some people are now calling this post-COVID syndrome, but it's all the same thing really. And then it goes in about people who are commenting on this. And there was a one which I thought was interesting. I don't know if I can find it here, but somebody thought he was getting dementia. That's how he felt, and I know how that feels, because you just feel as though your brain's really stuck. It's like treacle. You cannot think. I've just seen here the brain is stuck in thick molasses, and that's really how it feels. And then when I first, I've had ME for about 30 years now, and when I first got ME, I thought surely I need brain scans, and then when I looked at the literature about ME, and that, it wasn't anywhere near what there is now because of the net and things like that. But I used to think surely I need some sort of brain, check my brain if that's okay and things like that. But do we really need brain scans? This is like the thing here. There's on the same thing, ME Action, search results for brain scans. There's research going into this. When, as I say, the thinking back in the 90s was really about the brain wasn't getting enough blood to not enough blood was getting to the brain. You see, with studies and things like that, you've got to have a lot of people to get to a really, it's no good having 20 people with ME and all this type of thing, where it doesn't mean anything when it's like that. And again, I've said about on this channel before about research bias, and I've seen this before. And I think we've got to be very careful about things like this. And I've found this here, another thing that's very interesting. CFS, appropriate brain scans, and it goes on about MRIs, PETs, TDS, SPECT scans and things like that. And it says about brain fog and cognitive issues have often resulted in brain scans for many people with CFS. But at the end of the day, is that really necessary? It does say on the MRI scans, 27 to 32% of CFS patients saw abnormal scans, which were about the other 70%, So anyway, my own experiences and Miranda's as well is that we've had brain scans. So Miranda's had hers. I've had EEG, electroencephalograms. I've had MRI scans. I think I've had a PET scan and all that type of thing. Not to do with ME. It was about having seizures. Absolutely fine. There was nothing. You found nothing at all. And there's this, mentality about we need a brain scan if there's something wrong with the brain. It doesn't necessarily show anything. In here it says about there's 14% of chronic Lyme patients show abnormal scans, but you see with ME, you know, it's like the wax and wane thing, as everybody talks about, is you know, if you were on a good day when you had your MRI scan or whatever, then that would probably produce absolutely nothing. But if you were on a terrible day, well, it might do, it might not. But a point to think about is my mother had early onset Alzheimer's disease. And this was in a phase where it had gone past the, you know, like it was, I think it was about 2 years before she had brain scans. And so this was going into the moderate one, because usually with early onset Alzheimer's, it's more aggressive than, for example, she was only about 59 when she got it. When older people and that, they, you know, they don't get that quite aggressive because, you know, she died within a quite short time. But the thing is she had all these scans. They couldn't find anything wrong with her, and she was totally out of it. She hadn't got a clue where she was. So it you know, when people say about brain scans, and maybe people who have just been diagnosed with ME or long COVID or whatever, brain scans don't really necessarily mean a lot. With my mother, they found something which was a benign tumour, but it had nothing at all to do with the condition that she was suffering from. No symptoms from that was correlating with what she actually had. So anyway, I thought I'd find that interesting. If you've had brain scans, you know, maybe put something in the comments. It's always interesting to find some, you know, other people's opinions. I mean, everybody, we don't really know what ME is yet. You know, nobody does. The scientists don't. We know how to suffer it, but we really don't really know. So anyway, I hope everybody's coping as best they can. Thank you for watching.